Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another series review. Recently I watched the latest episode of Defiance before they have the final episode of Season 1, which will be on Monday. This episode was called Past's Prologue. Now this one was very intriguing because I think that we're getting more sense as to what the artifact does because of what happens with Irissa, but I'm really not going to go into that. There's a subplot with Stama and Kenya, which is very intriguing, and it just makes the series that much more complex. Of course, you have Daytak trying to secure the vote, which he does in his own way, I feel. He's just such an overbearing, manipulative, condescending, misogynistic, twisted figure, but I can't help but like him because of it. But I hate him as well, so I have conflicting emotions about him because he's, I think he's very hot, but on the other hand, I just loathe him with every core and fiber and atom of my being and my essence. I just think that he is a very vicious, exacting character that needs to be watched at all points and times, but Stama isn't so noble herself, and that whole idea of the nobility or the essence of their sophistication, I think it is all a front. And same thing with their religion and this whole idea with the public shaming. If she were ever to come out with her relationship to Kenya, and if Daytak were to learn of that, because he happens to frequent Kenya's services quite often, so that would be quite the awkward dinner table conversation, I think. I love the relationship between Joshua and Irissa. I ship it with FedEx. I really do. I admit to it. They're my OTP. Um, I also love Alec and Christy, but I'm so angry with well, actually, I really don't fault or discredit Christy's father for taking the action that he did with what happened. Although, for all intents and purposes, it wasn't Alec's fault. It was because he was dared by his best friend, and he was only doing something impulsively like a teenager would. And teenagers do stupid stuff. I mean, it's not really a shock to see this, even with alien teenagers. They're just as unevolved and not fully formed properly yet. So this action to me really wasn't a real shock, or I wasn't really taken aback by it. The outcome, again, it wasn't a surprise. Nolan, I thought, oh dear lord, Nolan is royally screwed on this one, but he took the humble action, and I feel that Nolan did the right thing, even though he realized and he knew from the get-go that taking all of the heat, as he said, was going to be very troublesome and lead to a lot of repercussions. The effect of his actions would be very deleterious, and despite that, he was very heroic, I think. The series just keeps getting better, but I'm a little bit uh, I'm a little bit worried about the last episode because I'm afraid that one of my favorite characters is gonna die. Even if that happens, and I've had things like this happen on other television shows that I've watched. Downton Abbey. Even though I haven't seen the recent season, I know that Matthew's gonna die anyway because they are very overt with that. And damn damn you, Gillian Fellows, damn you. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. It really is a very well written, complexly structured sci-fi series that deals a lot with the social interactions of these different races of aliens and human beings, and then you've got the whole mystery of that artifact that they find in the mines, and it comes to the forefront in this episode, I think, but we still don't really know. I think it's a portal. I think it opens to another dimension, and that might be important later on, but these are just speculations I'm making. I'm not really sure, but it's just so mystical in its way, and ethereal, and fascinating, I think. And it makes you think that Irissa is an even more important character than you originally thought she was. And yeah, she's a seer too, which I really like. I've always loved seer characters just because they possess both a blessing and a curse, and their ability to interpret the future, and to experience all the pain and suffering that they do. So they're suffering characters, and they come out as sort of a Christ-like characters. Well, I think she is the epitome of a messianic figure, but I don't know if I'm right or not. I just have a feeling that she is. I bet you I bet your bottom dollar that she is going to be a messianic figure. I'm pretty sure she is. Um, Nolan, his character makes a huge transformation here. I think he truly goes into his paternal mode, which I thought was a really good development of that particular side of his personality, and he has so much more integrity. And at first you think, oh, he's just, he's a jerk, he's cocky, he's kind of this hotshot bounty hunter character. I don't know if I should like him or not. He comes across as kind of a douchebag, sorry for the language, but there's no other word for Nolan at the very beginning of the series, and when you come to this episode, you think, Nolan has a heart, and it's a heart of gold, and he cares for his little girl, and it just hits you right here. And I was just so compelled, and I thought, oh, I hope she doesn't die. And that's one thing I'm kind of worried about with the final episode Monday. So I'm still gonna watch it no matter what, because I love this series. It's really come together for me, and I'm really hoping that Alec and Christy aren't separated, because then I kind of had a feeling that maybe they would be, because of what her father told Alec, and just his whole prejudice. It's actually not too different from Daytak. Actually, they're actually two sides of the same coin, which is very interesting. I think that they contrast each other, but they're both racist. Yeah. And one thinks that he is superior to, well, that would be Daytak. Daytak thinks he's superior to everybody else, and he's so high class and proper, and he thinks that human beings are just scum of the earth, and that the Caspians are just the highest beings ever created, and they're so much more evolved and developed and all this other crud. The super race idiocy that just doesn't work in any society, no matter what society you're going into, because you have to work together as a team in order for anything to happen. But nevertheless, this is a very fantastic conflict of interest. I feel that Daytak has an angle, and you see it throughout the entire show, just his his contacts and the way he manipulates people and just how um, meddlesome he is and exacting. Like I said before, exacting is the best adjective I can use to describe Daytak. That, and he's just kind of a bastard. Um, but you just love to hate him for it. I'm not really sure what to say about this episode other than I don't know. I really think that this may be my favorite episode other than the wedding. But I really love the wedding episode because you get to see a Cassian wedding and just how spiritual and ethereal it is and very airy and just there was a lot of tradition put forth in it, and they carry their traditions no matter where they go, and I I have to really salute them for that. There's a lot to be said for a race that holds on to something like that. I'm not really sure what else to say about this particular episode other than I really don't like Jade Tag. I even hate him more than I originally thought I would, even though I'm still attracted to him. It's just a kind of odd paradox, but nevertheless, you get to see how Kenya is and how she can be pretty backbiting as well. You think at first you think that she's got no problems whatsoever and that she's just a magnificent person, and she's although she's prostitute, she's a lady of ill repute, but she's really got a good heart and she means well, and she's actually trying to help Stama, but all in all, she can be kind of a witch when it comes right down to it. When her heart is broken, all bets are off. She takes off the gloves and she becomes a very angry young woman. And I would go so far to say that she becomes um, someone to be contended with. As she threatens Stama's integrity, and I thought, ooh, no, she didn't, but she did. And I'm kind of wondering where that's going to go. Well, I guess we're going to see in next episode. Because I like those two together, honestly, even though, I'm obviously not gay, but, any form of love, no matter how it's portrayed, I love seeing people in love. I just think love is the most beautiful thing in the world, but in this very essence, um, trust is betrayed and alliances are shaken. So, this is a really good episode, and more mysteries are brought to light. So we shall see what shall come in the near future. And until then, live long and prosper, my friends.